Nikki Wagner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The Local Government and Environment Select Committee unanimously supported the Kaipara District Council Validation of Rates and Other Matters Bill. We supported it not because we liked the bill, not because we're keen on validation legislation, but simply because this bill is the best possible solution to a very difficult, a very messy and a very unpleasant situation. This is not a time to play politics. It's a time to make good decisions for the people of Kaipara. There is no satisfaction, no pleasure in dealing with this type of bill. And I want to thank the committee and the officials for their goodwill, for their hard work, and for their willingness to work together to come up with the best possible compromise. We unanimously agreed to recognise the input of the ratepayers who have raised concerns, asked questions, and challenged the Council over the years. And we did that by making sure that late penalties on rates were rebated. However, all the rates that could have been struck legally need to be paid so that those who have so diligently kept paying their rates are not disadvantaged. A very comprehensive and independent Auditor General's report covering the period of 1996 to 2012 and covering the planning and the construction of the Mangawai wastewater scheme was presented to Parliament yesterday. It records long-term mismanagement and poor governance from the Council and its management team. It records lack of records, improper decision-making and poor auditor oversight. It identifies negligence, lack of prudence, but it does not identify corruption or any criminal wrongdoing. Now, the Select Committee is very keen to receive this report, and we wanted to receive it before we passed the bill. But the Auditor General assured us that it would not affect this validation legislation, and they were right. And we were very aware of the increased cost to ratepayers every month while this legislation was outstanding. So we made the commitment to pass this bill before Christmas rather than prolong the agony and the mounting costs to ratepayers. There is no doubt that the Kaipara District Council has had a tough time over the last few years trying to manage the wastewater project. It's tested the community emotionally and physically, and it's challenged ratepayers financially and socially. The worry, the uncertainty, the frustration, and the anxiety has taken its toll. Now, this bill is firstly designed to stop the bleeding of costs and disruption of the present situation. It then looks to address the wounds, to work through the errors and irregularity of rates. And the Select Committee went through this meticulously. We have only validated rates or decisions that could have been made correctly if the Council had been more pedantic about its systems or its wording. In other words, we only validated decisions and rates that were technically invalid rather than illegal or inappropriate. Finally, the bill looks to heal, to provide the certainty, the consistency and the finality that will allow this community to move on. Without this bill, the district and the ratepayers could have been bogged down in misery and uncertainty for another decade. And that is expensive and unhealthy for any community.
I call the honourable member Philip Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. It's only